Well, as you can see, we're waiting for Bandit there to connect so we can get this Pro Bowl on. Be the last game of our season 3. Super Bowl will be a CPU. Um, it's the first time in the 3 seasons we've had that happen. So while we're waiting here, let's take a look at the Pro Bowl rosters. I've got quite a few guys. Mahomes, Mayfield, he's working with. Mayberry Rivers, Ezekiel Elliott. Mixon won't play, he's hurt. P. Ryan made the Pro Bowl from the Raiders. Henry Ruggs. I can't remember who he plays for. He's not a Raider. Odell Beckham, 6th wide receiver. Rodney Hudson, best center in the game. Period. Khalil Mack. All right, back here. Um, Khalil, obviously. Hightower. And it looks like about it for our guys. But all right, Pro Bowl last game, like I say. As you can see, nobody from the online players made the schedule or made the Super Bowl. Everybody lost in either the playoff or the wild card round. I lost in the divisional playoff. Slick Rick lost in the divisional playoff. And then surprisingly, the Chiefs got taken out by the Texans, which I didn't see coming. And see the Seahawks are a wild card team, so pretty weird Super Bowl. But the online guys didn't fare that well this year. It seemed to be a bad year, other than the Pro Bowl selections, but 2 of the online guys. So anyway, still waiting on Rogue. It'll be my first time playing with Patrick Mahomes. I haven't used him in this.
The best of the best take the field one more time. Hey, it's the coach. This is the NFL Pro Bowl on EA Sports. Coming up, the next to last game on the NFL calendar, just moments away. The AFC and NFC stars, they're ready. I'll check you again at halftime. But for the call of the Pro Bowl, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, it's the penultimate game of the NFL calendar, AFC versus NFC in the NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Obviously, Cliff Kingsbury from the Cardinals as Rogue, and myself, John Gruden, from the AFC.
Excitement? Well, we got that in abundance as this Pro Bowl is underway from Orlando, Florida. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
I know he's not showing it on the outside, but inside, he's got to be celebrating because think about all the quarterbacking we saw in the AFC this year. 5 or 6 guys could have earned this honor. He got the nod, a real feather in his cap.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On the counter, here's Bell. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Time for a check of the starting offensive unit here for the AFC.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, you're loving the story that they are telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Bell. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. A look at the starters defensively now for the NFC.
And as expected, there's speed and talent everywhere you look on this Pro Bowl roster. Let's keep an eye on the secondary because they're going to be tested in a big way. It's the Pro Bowl. Not many running plays. The ball will be in the air on almost every snap. Fortunately for them, roster full of cornerbacks who are used to playing on an island.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. 58.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll run. It's Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Oh, going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Looking to throw. That's good to Adams. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he will carry this one in. Touchdown NFC. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So the NFC with our first touchdown of the game. And, of course, we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyrotechnics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one, talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be honest,
now loose football. The ball comes out, and it's scooped up by the NFC. He's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. The offense for the NFC back out there. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
18 Gator. Stop here, Gator.
Following the fumble recovery. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he will score. Touchdown NFC. A 14-yard touchdown. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails? Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make the score 14-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The AFC offense making their way back out. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute with their...
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. But he will not make the first down marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will score. Touchdown NFC. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the NFC adds on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here. An inability to put any points up. Pressure, and they got to him again. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And touchdown! A big play there. as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way gap. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
I call it no gain there on the first down play. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
To throw on 3rd down. Herbert will try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to make it 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Patrick Mahomes and the AFC ready to go on offense. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
Well, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Check, 53, check, 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 check.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes will get that to DeValve, the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Man is Westbrook complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
This is Bell. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 30 Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. So that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Give him 18 on the play.
Let's go.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Let's go. And 58 is a mic.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Mahomes firing complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Mike, 58, right there.
Bell. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
Yellow. There's your line.
Watch the screen.
Here's Pura. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
Let's go.
They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
They come up in an offset eye. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Bell. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, he was going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. The offense for the NFC back out there. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
I got troops this side. I got troops this side. We got three. We got three.
A good throw taken in by Diggs. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Herbert. Oh, they have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Now here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
It's our time.
Hey, Sunday.
Well, running with Bell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Mahomes. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They're going to come from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by to run. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun. It's over. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the NFC. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The open man is Westbrook. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Yellow, yellow. Attack, attack.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Nice 7, let's go. 53, check 53.
On first and 10, here's Mahomes. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mahomes now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Going to need better protection here. Third and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Mahomes in the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on fourth.
Here we go. Yellow. Check. Delta. Check 53, Mike. 53 to Mike.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictable. It doesn't pay off, and the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we have come upon halftime of this Pro Bowl with the NFC on top of the AFC. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA
that's the
Sports
first half, rough
Halftime
one, though.
Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together?